Trip at Night, baby. Haven't listened to it. First things first, album artwork. I don't really like this. Doesn't his face look kind of weird on this? Like, doesn't his face look a little too real compared to everything else? He's a whole cake pop right now. Now, the album artwork is dope. I'm not gonna diss it. It just, he looks a little weird, but the rest of it is super cool. I like the maximalism, you know? A lot of people go with minimalism and they want to be like obscure and so like a recluse, or they want to be mysterious, but Trippy is just like, let's go crazy. Let's just throw all of this on a cover. Let's just go crazy. So I like that. All right, features. We got Sofago on track 2. That's crazy. Lil Uzi Vert with Holy Smokes. We already know that's a banger. We got Mr. Rage with Cardi. We already know. We got Ski Mask. We got, wait, what happened to Drake? Dude, what happened to the Drake song? There was supposed to be a Drake song. Look, number 3, track number 3. Can you even see that? It says Betrayal with Drake. Dude, that was legitimately the main reason why I wanted to listen to this. Damn it. I wanted to hear so bad what a Drake and Trippie Redd song sounds like, because that is such a crazy collab. I'm so upset. I'm genuinely upset. That ruined my mood. Anyways, he's got Juice on there. He's got X on there. That's crazy. Anyways, let's begin. Here we go.
Off that Molly water, she get off that Molly water, I don't fit. Don't know how I'm earthbound, but I'm ready. So much water on me.
It's a decent song. It doesn't sound that great as like an intro or like an opener to an album, because it almost feels a little more nostalgic and almost like kind of moving forward. Like, it almost seems like something that would sound better towards the end, or it sounds kind of like a closer. So it's kind of weird to open with this, and it also kind of just sounds like a mid-album song, not necessarily an intro. So kind of a weird, interesting way to start a project. The way I rank my albums, I think you guys know this now, but we have skip, okay, and save. Save obviously being something I would save to the playlist, run it back. Okay being something that's like, you know, it's fine, I could do without it. And then a skip being like, I would not listen to it again. And then it's 1 point for a save, half a point for for an okay, and 0 points for a skip. It's not that serious. It's just something that's kind of a decent way for me to rank it. There's 18 songs, so a total of 18 possible points. I'm going to give this one an okay. That's a 0.5.
Rolling around 3 GMCs, about to be a driver. Homie, know what's up with me. Talk down, you gon' die. Keep that 40 on my lap, I spend like 24 on my wrist. See me up. Walking the spot, I'ma pipe that shit up. Yeah, them niggas hating my swag, them niggas so bit up. I thought I told them niggas I'm hard, hit up. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. W second song. I'm going to give this one a save. This one is a save for me. So I'm excited about Sofago. I think his verse was very solid, complimented Trippie very well. I think the hook is catchy. This beat and this song almost feels more of like a closing moment. I don't know how else to explain it. It just feels like the end of a show or something. It sounds like one of the ender songs or something that you would close the show with. So it's almost as if this album is closing before it's starting, if that makes any sense. Also, first 2 songs in, we have 2 rage beats. I know track number 4 is Holy Smokes. That's another rage beat. I don't know if this whole album is going to be all rage beats, but this is almost like the festival. It's like the festival trap or the festival house of rap music. This so far feels like live music to be appreciated in front of a lot of people at a concert. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting so far.
She know if she want it, she can get it, baby, anytime. I'm in race to that pussy, better hit the finish line. Big as Draco for the rookies, bet that I'm a finish line.
Okay, so this one is definitely a skip for me. I think without question. I think this track didn't bring anything new. There wasn't like a redeeming quality about it, not a feature, not a certain hook, or just anything that felt like, okay, this one needs to be on this album. So this one is a skip for me. It's not that it was bad. Just keep in mind, when I say a skip, I don't necessarily mean like I hate this song. It just means I won't go back to it. You know, it didn't really bring too much value here. Also, it's funny that somebody kind of mentioned like, yeah, the album is called Trip at Night. So that makes sense of what I was explaining before with kind of like the closing of the show. So I'm going to rewire my thinking here. And instead of treating it like an intro of like an album is supposed to tell a story, I'm just going to feel that vibe. So maybe that this is a project of just all of one specific sound. Like maybe he turned the Rage sound into an album. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm getting the vibe for already. Next is Holy Smokes, and we got to listen to it.
Holy fucking smokes, I got my money up. Counting all these bands took me a while just to damn run it up. Multi-millions, I feel 100 up.
Song is 100% a save for me. In my opinion, this song is like the best Rage sound. I know a lot of people think Mr. Rage is, because that is the song that started it. But for me, it's Holy Smokes. Like this, for sure, just, I don't know. This reminds me of like vintage trap, melodic trap, like in its top tier level in 2017. It feels like Love is Rage 2 energy, in my opinion. That's what this song gives for me, but a new version. I don't know. I'm just really into this song. I just think it's like so good for this sound. Like when we think back to Trip at Night, we're gonna think of Holy Smokes. And Mr. Rage, of course, but...
And I'm schizophrenic, might do damage like the cell. RP my brother off some bank, put him in that cell. They can't comprehend that we so real.
So one thing I definitely do whenever I listen to albums on live, I always give them the benefit of the doubt more because of the way that the chat responds and reacts. But anyways, this song, I think that the beat was kind of carrying a little bit on this one. Because the beat was so loud and his vocals were so quiet behind it. So I'm going to say it's kind of like an okay / save. I probably wouldn't go back to it. I'm kind of on the fence, but I'm gonna give it an okay personally.
I love Flippy Left.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to listen to Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage is just an okay. It's like you can't call it a skip because it literally sparked this whole project, so you can't call it a skip. But we've talked about this a bunch of times. Like the beat for sure carried, and it was just like if they just spent a little more time writing it, it would have been, you know. Anyways.
Bitch, I'm from 800 where we kill. What I do a drill. Hop on like a pill. Wake up in the morning, spark a blunt and crack a damn seal. With the gang, I'm a rebel. I make treaties with the devil. I'm in space, don't need no shuttle. Don't be scared, don't need no trouble. I'm just down this in this. Got me seeing double.
You know, in the beginning, I was like, man, if he really repeats this the whole time, this is going to be a straight skip for sure. And then the switch came in at the perfect time, man. And it was just dirty through the end. Yeah, that's going to be a save for me.
King of the jungle, y'all niggas buck. Man, we really bouncing. OVO drinking 40 bucks. Flaming up all that houses. I ain't never worried, but I know they worried about me. They know we lit, goddammit. I'm up on Planet Namek. On dreaming time, they panic. Cause they thought a nigga was satanic. Cause we keep that tool like mechanics. On Planet Drool with lava girl.
So I know y'all were really feeling that, but I think that like we were liking it for the potential of it because really that beat just felt underwhelming to me. It just felt like I mean, I guess it was a little demonic and it was a little dark. I don't know, something was a little weird about it, and I could tell that something was weird about it because they did so many beat cuts with Ski that it was obvious that it wasn't truly fitting, because like for the first half of Ski's verse there were giant beat cuts. They just kept cutting the beat. Every time he was coming in, I was like, they're going to cut the beat. And then they did, and then they did. And then it wasn't until the second half where he finally slowed down his flow because he just didn't really fit on it. So, yeah, I mean, I think the song is just okay because I did enjoy it, and I think Ski did a really good job. And I like some of the vocal riffs, and I like the keep staring part, but I didn't particularly like this beat, and I also think that Ski didn't exactly fit. He's just so talented that he did his thing. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an okay.
I just got $1 million bags today. About to go and spin a bag, blow them bands today. Yeah, about to spend $100 grand today. Shoot out the rave, stick up. I need everything else safe, nigga. I'm with them grave niggas. We gon' dig your grave, nigga. Pop my at the rave, nigga. Chains on me, no slave, nigga.
First of all, the beginning started out super hot. And the way that they were trading the whole song sounded good. It makes me wonder if they how long ago they made this song, and if, since the Rage sound is typically new and has been kind of created after he passed, I wonder what the original beat was that they did, because the beginning beat sounded so perfect for it. You know, it almost sounded like they really did record this record together over this beat. So from like a mixing standpoint, it sounded great. No complaints on that end. But when they got so, like, when the chords came in and the, you know, it turned into more of like a cinematic build, it like just totally didn't even fit because of the subject matter. They're just still rapping, freestyling about fucking bitches and, you know, all that. The musical piece was so beautiful, but the lyrics there were just so lacking. I've been noticing this across albums or features with an artist that has passed. They almost make this really sad, this really gloomy cinematic, like you're listening to this person beyond the grave. And although I respect it and it makes me feel emotional, it kind of makes me a little jaded in a way, because I'm appreciating this because I know that this artist passed and I'm listening to their voice, but not necessarily for what they're saying, because what they're saying just doesn't really match the vibe at all. So it started off hot, and I do really appreciate the cinematic build, but lyrically it was off, and then I just feel conflicted. It's a very interesting song, and I don't really know how I feel about it, but I'm just gonna give it an okay.
I get the money and add it up, add it up, add it up. I take it Addy, I'm staying up. Her booty bounce on my stomach, I'm slaying up. Tricks for kids, no, not paying up. She think it's a game, that's why I've been playing. All my anime shit, they eating my fairy dust.
I do like this beat, and I do like this hook. I'm gonna give it an okay. Just the simplicity about it is really nice. This almost seems like one of those songs where, like, if you made it in like a locked in episode, or if you made it like on a Twitch stream or some shit, it would just go crazy. I don't know. It's simple, but it's cool. I enjoyed it.
Now that I'm getting new money, I ain't worried about no oh-ohs. These bitches get the downtown, I've been getting used to my ringtone. These bitches wanna sing along.
I keep feeling conflicted because I'm like, man, I like this. I really like this flow, but I know why I like this flow, because it sounds like the other one. And it's just like, I don't know. I like it, but I'm just, feels like something is missing. It's the lyrics, you know? It just feels like he could have went with something a little deeper, you know? Just a little deeper, a little less surface level, you know? Now I'm getting new money. I ain't worried about these old hoes. It's like, But in my opinion, now that I've heard this song, I think the previous song, Vibes, turns into a skip, and this next one, New Money, turns into an okay, because Vibes really didn't bring anything new. Whereas New Money, this is like the first, it's still kind of a rage beat, but it's like, this is the closest, this is like the newest thing. This is like the newest like flow or sound. It's the most different sounding song so far. This is all just based on first listen. You gotta really, if you want to accurately talk about an album, you gotta listen to it multiple times. But this is just first thoughts, so just consider that.
Pull up in a ghost, big body ghost. Casper, that's a ghost. Danny Phantom ghost. Bitch, I'm going ghost. Bitch, I'm going ghost. Bitch, I'm going ghost. Little pussy nigga try me like on days low. So my dick, yeah, my body, so insane, I know. Bring that back, I'm a swing.
It's okay for me. Again, I think it was really nice to hear X. I'm a big X fan. You know, there isn't much left of music coming from him that kind of has like listenability. So this one is very short piece. I think that the beat sounds, I feel like his voice was a little too loud and a little too dry. I think he could have fit a little bit, like Trippy was a lot more reverbed and stuff, and maybe they just wanted it to be like very prevalent in the mix, very like, okay, you're listening to X now. Again, posthumous, very, it's like the statement, you know, it's like moving almost to hear something new. But again, it's just kind of a single, 3/4 of the way through the album now, and it's like, it's not that much new value.
I travel through space-time. No, I'm busy, I'll make time. Heard I'm on top of the grapevine. I've been running that block like a K9. Got the Glock and your mom having FaceTime. Gotta praise all out in Dubai. You a bitch.
I think this one is definitely a skip for me. This one just kind of feels, again, like just another regular Rage song, kind of a freestyle. You know, it's fine. It's good. I enjoyed it. But there hasn't been one song, even the skips that I have on here, there's not one bad song on here. That's for sure. They're not bad. But it's just not bringing anything new.
Popping tags, dropping jollies, shorty bag, ran hot tamale. Come from a pissy pepper, that crack rock in that potty. Same cloak on like Darth Vader.
Yeah, again, I think if I heard a lot of these songs out of the context of an album, I'd probably like them a lot more. But this, again, is going to have to be a skip for me. I think the beat was cool. It was kind of a new beat, but just still doesn't you know, now after track 14, it's kind of getting exhausting.
Backpedal on a peon, yeah. Got powers like Lil Dion. I'm Elon Musk, roll around in a Tesla. Can't fuck with them, they extra.
Just to skip, I don't know. Just not much here.
I'm a rich motherfucker. Tell that bitch I love her. I'm just tryna cut her. Uber X and double. Ghetto motherfucker. Only roll with shooters.
And bitch, don't get too comfortable. Out the cut, they come for you. Twin Glocks, thing 1 and 2. Hollows eat up and stop like a luncheon. My little steps come stumping through. So you best keep. I'm a ghetto motherfucker. I was raised different. Couldn't get that back from her man Stoke, cause your shit made different. I be with some robbers who respect when I say let them keep. Only fuck on bitches.
I'm gonna give it an okay. It's too long. The hook didn't need to repeat after every single person. Dirk had the best verse, then Trippy, then Polo. I think it'd be cool. I wish Polo's verse was better. I think it would have been kind of cool if Trippy just did the hook and then he didn't have a verse because it's a little long. We finally took, we're on track 16. We finally took a break from the rage beat, and then it's like the most regular beat ever. It's like it went from all these really cool, interesting beats to just so boring.
Try your luck, nigga. I give a goofy all headshots. Like, is you dumb or not? Sick niggas want from me no more bags, cause I be running off. Bust Cuban and Rose go Prezi blown, yeah, that's 100 bars. Talk about them peas. Got a bunch, nigga. Wake up in the morning, brush my teeth and grab my gun, nigga. 40 on the wrist, color diamonds, cat the crunch, nigga. Oh, you sipping on
all my clothes exclusive. Husband, move your hoe elusive. Put the dope on the road, it's lucrative. Then make it back home secluded. Up big fat, shoot it. I'm big fat, boolin'.
Got it out the bricks, yeah. Fuck nigga. If I said it's up, little nigga, then know it's up with you. Best believe we gon' find your bitch ass nigga, I'm gon' get up with you. We nuts. If we come, we gon' bust at you.
What the fuck? Did you hear how much it changed?
Bitch ass nigga, I'm gon' get up with you. We nuts. If we come, we gon' bust at you.
I ain't drinking no Trish.
Dude, this is incredibly bad for a mix. Like, this is the worst mix I think I've ever heard, like, on a professional record. What even happened here? What happened? So it sounds like there's an error in the file. Like, there's just no way that they were listening to this whole album had beautiful soundscapes and beautiful wide. Like, I have had zero issues with the production or the mixing and mastering other than, like, that little X thing. Like, zero issues. None. Everything has been totally fine. And then this is just, like, an abomination. It's, like, the worst mix I've ever heard. Isn't this crazy? What happened? And then just the same sample over and over and over and over again. Dun, 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 dun. It's like a 1-bar loop. I didn't even realize that was the last song. Okay. All right. So 17 possible points. So here are my final thoughts. I'm just going to pretend like that last song didn't exist. When I'm talking about the album, I'm not talking about the last song, because that last song just a major skip. That should be negative points, bro. That song was bad. I think that the production on the album, a lot of people are saying it gets repetitive. To be fair, I like that he went for a sound. Him and Cardi sort of combined created this rage sound, and I like that he made a whole project out of it. I don't mind it, because it's like, that's what a lot of albums are. You create a sound. The difference between what albums are now versus then is, like, it's just too long. And this is the same old story. All these new albums, they're just too long. They put filler in there. It's to chase a bag, to get more streams, to get more sales. It's the same old story. We know this. Pretty much all new albums are too long. So you have a lot of filler, and that's basically why tracks 13 through 17 were just like whatever. We didn't need them. So it's kind of tough when you talk about an album, because if you really like 7 songs, you're like, damn, that's a really fire album. But then you're like, but there were 17 songs on that album. Like, what about the other 10? And the other 10 were skips. You know what I mean? Or just, there's so many albums that are like that. So it kind of is like, we almost have to change our thinking with an album. And that's kind of how I feel with this, because I do genuinely like the rage sound, and I think it's cool that he doubled down on a sound that he kind of created, but it's just too long and there's so much filler in here. It made me feel like, damn, it just got rinsed. It just got rinsed and just lyrically, the rage sound is supposed to be a very party sound, very, let's go crazy, just like Whole Lotta Red. But I still feel like there's like a lot of potential, like with Vibes and New Money, those 2 songs, I'm like, man, it's just, you're teeter-tottering between like a really good song and a skip. It's just, that's why it had me feeling kind of indifferent, and maybe with a few more listens I'll like those. But ultimately, track by track, let's just see what I went with. 7.5 out of 17. So I don't even know what that would be out of 10, but that's a little less than half. 44%. So you're looking at like a 4.5. Yeah, so it's like a light 4, this project. So Trip at Night, don't get me wrong, there's a few songs that I really like. I just think that it's too long, and I think that it's more of a mixtape. It sounds to me like more of a mixtape. And I think that when people think back to Trip at Night, they will remember Miss the Rage, they will remember Holy Smokes, and you know, that's kind of it. You know, maybe this MP5 track, but little too long. I wish it was 7 songs. It just sounds like more of a mixtape. Could be more of a mixtape for me, but that's how I feel.